Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Grow Groups this week as we are launching our new series, Curious Jesus. My name is Jessica Sachs, and I'm the director of Grow Groups, and I'm excited to join you in this conversation as we learn how to ask more questions and how to ask better questions. It feels like we ask or say a lot of statements in our lives, but what does it look like if we enter the world with a little bit more curious lens, a lot like Jesus had? So for our conversation today, I'm joined by Pastor Chung Ho Kwan.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. So we are going to practice asking questions. So normally we have an opener here, but we're going to try a game.
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. Play along with your group after and see how you feel about it. So we're going to see how it feels going back and forth just asking questions, but no answers.
You sure I can do that?
I have full faith in you.
Okay, got it.
Oh, we should have started with that.
Oh, yeah,
That was a good question.
Actually.
Are you excited to try?
Do you feel like that?
Do you think this is a game our groups could play pretty well?
Oh my gosh. It's not a question. Let's see what's actually things in my mind. Sorry, I already failed. Let's try again. Something else.
Definitely not a failure. Let us know how that experience went in your group. It is so hard
Yeah.
to just ask questions. I want answers.
Huh.
How did that feel for you?
This conversation means like a questions and answer usually. Yeah, it's a kind of a fun game, but I think I didn't have too much fun in my life, so I will try this more.
I love it. Well, good. So as we talk about this conversation today, Jesus, in this whole pericope, asks two different times, what is it that you want? And so before we really get into that, I'm just curious, what is your relationship with questions? Do you ask a lot or a few?
As a pastor, I teach in many times. Also, I teach to my students or church members. Yes, I like to bring up some questions. I like to make people think about what they know and what they don't know, what they think, what they don't think. So I like to use questions. And also that's the way, as we can find out from the gospel, Jesus used a lot in the gospels. He brought up a lot of questions. And a lot of disciples, they really didn't get fully what Jesus was asking. They failed a lot to give the right answer or question, respond to the question what Jesus was asking. So yes, I like to use questions, and one of the good example is, some Christians say that Jesus is the answer, and my question is, so what is your question? So I like to use that kind of type of questions that people think.
That's almost like a Jeopardy style. You offered the answer. What is the question? I love that. And I think there's sometimes an arrogance in our desire to offer up answers all of the time, or even to say I know Jesus is the answer. Well, what are the questions?
Yes.
What are we asking in
So
that?
everyone has a different question and
Yes.
different way who Jesus means to them in their life. I just like to know their story, their question. So
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. And Jesus was a teacher, like you mentioned.
yes, he was a very wise teacher described in the Gospels. So he's, I think almost every parable or episode is related to some kind of question. Whenever people or disciples ask some question, and he replied in some kind of with a story or another question. So we can probably learn more about it through this entire sermon series, right?
Absolutely. There's a couple of weeks coming up of some really big misunderstandings and seeing how Jesus navigates that with more questions.
Yeah.
I love it. So for our next question then, has someone ever answered for you only to be incorrect?
happens sometimes when I have conversation with my children who are bilingual, but now they speak more English, and but their Korean is not bad, so there's no accent. So when some my Korean friends hear what they say, oh, they speak like guys who were born in Korea. That's good. But their vocabularies and their understanding of the Korean language is very limited. Sometimes they act like they understand what my questions very well, but it's not. They misunderstood or they didn't get it at all. So that time, that the result of our conversation is they didn't do what I asked them to do or they respond well what I asked. And sometimes it happens.
Oh no.
How about you?
I was thinking more specifically, because it happened a lot in our household, but around food. And so my mom would do it to my dad, my sister, and I. She'd be like, I prepared this meal for you. It's one of your favorites. And we would always be like, that was not me. I don't like this. And so, yeah, I think of moments like that where I'm like, oh, I wish you would have just asked, do you actually like meatloaf? And that answer is no.
Okay.
So yeah, that's always hard, which again, it goes to, I think, asking questions.
Right.
And seeing what is it that you want? Yeah. All right. As our last question, has an answer from another person ever surprised you?
Yes, when the answer made me feel I had brought up a dumb question, or opposite case, and that person totally misunderstood my question or purpose of my question, because I would like to hear more about what he thinks or she thinks, but the answer doesn't reveal what he thinks or what he believes. So, in that case, yeah, I feel confused or surprised by their answers.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We're going to be playing as a staff around the office during the week. We're going to practice asking questions. And so this month we'll be asking the staff questions. I'm curious if any answers will surprise us.
So we have to act like a Jesus, right?
I guess we've got to. Yeah. Jesus asked us to follow him.
More questions, so.
Yeah, to be more curious about the world we're in.
Be like Jesus. Yes, great.
Be like Jesus. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Pastor Kwan. Thank you and your groups for joining us. And we're looking forward to you asking more questions. See what answers you can find during the week and share together next week. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one. Take care.